allow me to dive a little deeper, actually, into predictive analytics, and more specifically, how you bring predictive analytics directly into your transaction-based system. So real-time, in-transaction, predictive analytics, and run those models in sub-milliseconds. But before I go there, let me ask you a simple question. Do you think your tools today are fast enough to keep up? For all its hype around big data, I think big data was just the beginning. We're collecting more volume, we're collecting more variety of data, but the data is coming at us in a greater and greater velocity. And so the next natural step for us has to be analyzing data in motion. And data in motion has a whole new set of challenges for us. So processing data in motion will really be a key differentiator to become a data-driven organization. So are your tools fast enough? Or does your approach look something like this here? Data in motion, right? If it moves, well, and it shouldn't, maybe we'll put some duct tape on it. If it doesn't move, well, WD-40 is good for a lot of things too. But of course, I don't mean WD-40 and duct tape in our context here. In our context, WD-40 and duct tape would be replaced by, let's create another report. Let's put this on a new dashboard. And that's really where we shouldn't be with data in motion, because dashboards and reports mean there's always a human in the loop. And that's really the last thing that we need. So the last thing for moving data and big data in general is more reports, more dashboards. What we truly need is automated, intelligent decisions. Where Ross was mentioning moving into a cognitive area. And so predictive analytics is one of those elements that stands between data and business value. And the faster you can move from business value to from data to business value, the more value you create for your organization. And predictive analytics basically uses machine learning to detect patterns in your data. And if you can apply those models now in real time, that's really a next level of optimized decisioning that you can introduce. Not just yes and no, your typical rule system, but really looking at probabilities, the likelihood of certain patterns. And we've already seen fraud detection is one example. The beauty of predictive analytics, it is really applicable across all industries and all use cases. You can inject that as kind of a turbocharging of your existing decision processes. You don't have to replace everything. You have to just inject additional predictive decisions. And your data scientists are the ones that will deliver that for marketing, for cross-sell and upsell opportunities, for risk mitigation, for fraud detection, even in the Internet of Things, the next new hype that we currently witness. Processing sensor data is an ideal use case for predictive analytics, predictive maintenance and quality control, for example. So using predictive analytics now, the biggest value of it is really if we can apply it in real time. Not just in batch mode, which you may be able to do today, but if we can really move that into every transactions, that is where we see true value. Now, in order to do that, we need to be able to move it into our system. But often we see very disparate systems, disjointed systems. Your transactions run on a mainframe. You're creating a new big data analytics project. You're creating a data lake over in a different organization. Your data scientists pull out data, copy the data as we've seen earlier, into yet another system, and then analyze the data, create a great predictive model, and if you're lucky, they score it once a month, maybe once a week. Well, what if you could move that all back into your system and do that in real time? That's really the vision that we're looking at. The business process that really wraps around an integrated hardware, data, and an analytics software solution in order to make it happen in real time. And that's how we close the gap. So Zementis is focused on agile deployment of predictive analytics. That's really our core mantra. We were recognized by CIO Review magazine as one of the top 20 most promising big data companies, and we were named a cool vendor in data science, cool title to have, by Gartner. And our vision really is that data science and IT can work together seamlessly and very efficiently. That means models, predictive models developed by your data science team can immediately flow over to IT and being deployed. So from development on a data science desktop to deployment in minutes, not in months. Literally, it takes 6 to 9 to 12 months today. It should take an afternoon or a few minutes to do that. And that really translates into business value because now you're moving your models into your operational systems immediately and you can take advantage of those. Now, where do most of your mission-critical transactions happen? Of course, on these systems, on your mainframe. It is still the backbone of many organizations. It's really where most of the valuable transactions happen, where most of the valuable data resides. And so to implement our vision, it makes perfect sense to team up with IBM and to announce a new set of solutions, which we call Zementis for IBM Z systems. So what is that? It's really an integrated predictive analytics capability to deploy and to score models right in these systems. So you manage your data, you manage your transactions, and now you're also bringing in your predictive models and manage them into the same system. And that's really a true inline predictive analytics capability, and you can execute those models now in sub-milliseconds. And so why is this so important? Really because it allows you to bring predictive models directly at the point of greatest efficiency and greatest impact, where your transactions happen and when they happen. So local to your system and right on time, making the right recommendation at the right time to the right person. And that you can only do that with transaction-based systems. Now, if you look at the technology benefits that our solution provides, they drive immediate business value. So on the right-hand side, you see data scientists. They develop these fascinating predictive models for risk detection, for fraud detection, for upsell, cross-sell opportunities. They will be able to build models faster. They will be able to build models with more accuracy because now you can recycle models very quickly. You can redeploy them. You don't have a 6 to 9 to 12 month cycle time on your models. And that team then can be more productive because they can push over those models to IT and create business value much, much faster. So faster insights for your business decisions, greater accuracy of decisions because you're running on the latest and greatest model. You're not running on a model that's 6 or 9 or 12 months old. We minimize the data movement. So the data doesn't have to move anywhere else. You're scoring in transaction. And that gives you not just more performance, so you can do this in sub-milliseconds, but it also, very important today with all the breaches that we've seen, it provides you with a tighter governance and security for models and data and transactions. At the end of the day, you're using your existing system to add predictive capabilities, so you lower your IT cost, you lower your complexity. And lowering complexity is very important in IT these days because at the end of the day, you get higher business agility. So how do we do that? We are in Vegas, so I wanted to say it's all magic, and we need David Copperfield, but it's actually much easier. So the key really is open standards, and at the core of this is a standard called PMML, the Predictive Model Markup Language, which is an XML-based standard supported by most of the commercial and open source tools. And it basically allows you to define your data mining tools in a common format and to share them across applications and share them across different vendors. And it eliminates that need for custom code to move models around. And that's really what causes the typical delay of 6 to 9 to 12 months. It gives you compatibility across multiple systems. Your data scientists really have ultimate flexibility to pick the right model building tool, the right data mining platform, IBM SPSS or R, open source Python, or SAS, MicroStrategy. They all generate PMML, excuse me. Think of it as the PDF for predictive models. And with that, we actually go away from custom code and leverage an enterprise-grade deployment capability, which also simplifies our model management. So very simply, with our commitment to open standards, it allows us to also introduce additional simplicity of just saying, develop your models, deploy the models, and run them. There shouldn't be any other magic to it. So your data scientists build models, they build them efficiently, they push them over into a certified engine for deployment, and you get a very, very scalable execution. Scalable in terms of pure performance, as well as model development to model deployment time. Now, just a very brief peek under the hood. Performance is what I already mentioned. But really, it's compatibility across different systems. The ease of integration, this is a Java-based engine that runs directly on ZOS. You can integrate it through Kix, through COBOL, IMS, WebSphere. So you have many flexible ways to integrate it into your specific application. And it provides you that fast inline transaction. Really, it's sub-millisecond time that now you don't have to move the data elsewhere. You're bringing models and executing them right in the transaction system. And the key point I wanted to make here is it's also entirely zip eligible. Very important as you move more and more transactions onto your Z systems. So we're very excited to be here. I think this is a great opportunity to leverage predictive analytics for the first time seamlessly in transaction systems. You bring models into your most valuable transactions. And that's something that used to be very, very difficult. From now on, it's easy, it's standards-based, and it's effective.